The life-changing message you are about to hear tells how over 500 individuals achieved success and accumulated wealth. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years analyzing the accomplishments of financial giants to formulate proven laws of success to think and grow rich. Individuals he studied included notables such as Henry Ford, Thomas A. Edison, Andrew Carnegie, Theodore Roosevelt, Dr. Alexander Graham Bell, and John D. Rockefeller. These individuals of great wealth began with nothing to give in return for riches, except thoughts, ideas, and organized plans. As a result of this study, Napoleon Hill capsulized his now famous 13 success principles. These will be shared with you as you listen to this tape. This formula for success describes what to do and how to do it. It provides you with a perfect system to help you think and grow rich. One of the most important ideas incorporated into Napoleon Hill's laws of success is that riches cannot always be measured in money. Material resources are essential for freedom of body and mind, but other important riches include lasting friendships, harmonious family relationships, sympathy and understanding between business associates, and spiritual peace of mind. If you listen, understand, and apply Napoleon Hill's philosophy, you will be better prepared to attract and enjoy these higher values or riches. Furthermore, Napoleon Hill's laws of success will convince you that riches are not beyond your reach. His ideas will show you that you can be what you wish to be, and you can enjoy money, fame, recognition, and happiness if you are ready and determined to apply the 13 success principles of Think and Grow Rich. The first step to riches is desire. When a person genuinely desires a thing so deeply that he or she is willing to stake the entire future on it, that person is sure to win because of a mind made up to work until that goal is achieved. Millions of people look back at the achievements of Henry Ford, now that he is a legend, and envy him because of his good fortune, or luck, or genius, or whatever else they credit for his wealth. But the secret of Ford's success was his desire. A single illustration shows how his desire led to his riches. Ford decided to produce his now famous V8 motor. He chose to build an engine with the entire 8 cylinders cast in one block, and instructed his engineers to produce a design for the engine. The design was placed on paper, but the engineers said it was simply impossible to cast an 8-cylinder gas engine block in one piece. Ford said, "Produce it anyway." "Impossible," the engineers kept saying. Ford commanded, "Stay on the job until you succeed, no matter how much time is required." At the end of the year, Ford checked with his engineers, and again they informed him they had found no way to carry out his orders. "Go right ahead," said Ford. "I want it, and I'll have it." They went ahead, and finally, the secret was discovered. Henry Ford was a success. He earned riches and fame because he understood and applied the first principle of success, that of desire. Remember this Ford story as you listen to this tape, for you can equal his achievements in almost any calling for which you are suited. Just as Ford did, you can convert ideas into money. You may begin without finances, but if you have desire, you can do it. Another true story demonstrating the power of desire to help you think and grow rich involves Edwin C. Barnes, who just after the turn of the century resembled a tramp as he climbed down from a freight train in Orange, New Jersey. But his thoughts were those of a king. He made his way from the railroad tracks to the office of Thomas A. Edison, his mind ever at work. He saw himself standing in Edison's presence. He heard himself asking Mr. Edison for an opportunity to carry out one consuming obsession of his life, a burning desire to become the business associate of the greatest inventor there ever was. Because Barnes kept that thought ever before himself, a few years later he stood before Edison in the same office. This time his desire had been translated into reality, for he was in business with Edison. The dominating dream of his life had become a reality. Barnes succeeded because he chose a definite goal, placed all of his energy, all of his willpower, all of his efforts, everything, his desire back of that goal. The morning after the Great Chicago Fire, a group of merchants stood on State Street looking at the smoke and remains of what had been their stores. They went into a conference to decide whether they should try to rebuild or leave Chicago and start over in a more promising section of the country. They reached a decision, all except one, to leave Chicago. The merchant who decided to stay and rebuild pointed a finger at the remains of his store and said, "Gentlemen, on that very spot, I will build the world's greatest store, no matter how many times it may burn down." That store was built, and the Marshall Field Building stands today as a towering monument to the power of the state of mind known as desire. It would have been easy for Marshall Field to have done exactly what his fellow merchants did. Mark well this difference, because it's the same difference that distinguished Henry Ford and Edwin C. Barnes, as well as Marshall Field, from thousands of other young men and women. It is the same difference that distinguishes practically all who succeed from those who fail. Wishing will not bring riches, but desiring riches, material and otherwise, with an obsession, and then planning definite ways to accomplish those goals, and backing those plans with persistence that does not recognize failure, will bring riches. Translating desire into riches requires carrying out 6 definite practical steps. Number 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, "I want to make a lot of money." Be definite. Number 2. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There is still no such reality as something for nothing. Number 3. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Number 4. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once, whether you're ready or not, to put this plan into action. Number 5. Write out a clear, concise statement of each of these steps, 1st through 4th. Number 6. Read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel, believe yourself already in possession of these riches. Remember that these steps work not only for money, but they are the steps essential for the attainment of any definite goal. To apply them successfully demands an understanding that accumulation of money or other vital goals cannot be left to chance, good fortune, or luck. All who have accumulated great fortunes or reached great heights of accomplishment first did a certain amount of dreaming, hoping, wishing, desiring, and planning before they acquired their riches or attained their goal. Almost every great leader from the dawn of civilization down to the present was capable of seeing a vision, dreaming, desiring a worthwhile goal. Christianity, for example, is a great power in the world today because its founder had a desire, a vision. The Bible says it this way, "Where the people have no vision, they perish." Or to put it another way, if you do not see great riches, monetary or otherwise, in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank balance. Remember, too, that all who succeed in life may get off to a bad start, pass through criticisms and even heartbreaking struggles before they bring their desire into reality. Booker T. Washington, for example, was born into slavery. Because he was tolerant, had an open mind on all subjects, and was a dreamer and a worker, he left his mark for good on the human race. Helen Keller became deaf, dumb, and blind shortly after birth. Despite her great misfortune, her entire life served as evidence that no one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. Before considering the next principle of success, kindle anew in your mind the fire of desire, hope, an open mind, and courage. If you have this state of mind and a working knowledge of the other principles discussed in this tape, you will have all you need to think and grow rich. Faith is the second powerful principle for a richer and fuller life. A great person once said, "I believe in the power of desire backed by faith, because I have seen this power lift people from lowly beginnings to places of power and wealth." Faith is a state of mind that you can develop at will as you master the 13 principles of Think and Grow Rich. How faith can be developed may be made clearer through a negative example. A famous criminologist explained how people sometimes become criminals this way. When individuals first come into contact with crime, they abhor it. If they remain in contact with crime for a time, they become accustomed to it and endure it. The expert on crime concluded that if they remain in contact with crime long enough, they become influenced by it, and they finally embrace it. This example demonstrates how the subconscious mind takes in negative or destructive thoughts and acts upon them just as readily as it absorbs and acts upon positive or constructive thoughts. This accounts for the strange phenomenon that millions of people experience and refer to as misfortune or bad luck. These people believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some mysterious force over which they believe they have no control. They are actually the creators of their own misfortunes because of the negative beliefs picked up by their subconscious mind and translated into physical behavior. In contrast, you can benefit by passing on to your subconscious mind any desire you wish transformed into its physical or monetary equivalent. Your belief or faith or state of positive expectancy is the element that determines the action of your subconscious mind. Understand this truth, and you will know why it is essential for you to eliminate negative emotions and to encourage positive emotions as dominating forces of your mind. Saturate your thinking also with the belief that you must have faith in yourself and faith in a higher power, and remind yourself that faith is the eternal power that conveys capability, life, and action to beliefs and thoughts. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries that cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the only known remedy for failure. Faith is the force, when mixed with prayer, that gives direct communication with the higher power. Resolve now to build your faith. Put your faith into action by writing out a statement of your major purpose in life or your goals. Commit them to memory and repeat them out loud day after day until the vibrations of your words have penetrated your subconscious mind. Here is a formula that will help you build your faith if you will work at it. Repeat these statements. Number 1, I know I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment, and I here and now promise to render that action. Number 2, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number 3, I know that any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Number 4, I have written down a clear and definite description of my chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. In conclusion, repeat this oath. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day, with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions, so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. If you wish evidence of the power of faith, study the achievements of men and women who have employed it. At the head of the list comes Jesus Christ, a compelling force who influences the minds of people. The basis of Christianity is faith, and the sum and substance of the teachings and achievements of Christ have been faith. Believe this, and you can think and grow rich. The third step toward riches is self-suggestion, a method of feeding creative thoughts to your subconscious mind. When you read aloud twice daily the written statement of your desire for money, as you were instructed to do, you are using self-suggestion. And when you see and feel yourself already in the possession of the money, you are using self-suggestion to communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. When reading aloud this statement of your desires, remember that the mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotions or feelings with the word. If you were to repeat 1,000,000 times a day the famous Emile Coué formula, day by day in every way, I'm getting better and better, without mixing emotion and faith with your words, you will experience no desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon the thoughts that are saturated with a spirit of burning obsession and absolute faith. Hand your goals over to your subconscious mind and see what it can do to create practical plans for the accumulation of money through the transformation of your desire. But don't wait for definite plans. Begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting that your subconscious mind will develop and hand over the plans you need. Be on the alert for these plans. When they appear, put them into action immediately. Failure to do this may be fatal to your success. These instructions may at first seem abstract or impractical, but if you follow these instructions, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief and faith, and a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. This idea is the cornerstone of your future. Follow these instructions explicitly, for there are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. The fourth principle toward riches emphasizes specialized knowledge. There are two kinds of knowledge. One is general, the other is specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is but little use in the accumulation of money. The faculties of the great universities possess, in the aggregate, practically every form of general knowledge known to civilization. But most of the professors have little money. They specialize on teaching knowledge, but they do not specialize on the organization or the use of knowledge. Knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to a definite goal of accumulating money. Lack of understanding of this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who falsely believe that knowledge is power. It is nothing of the sort. Knowledge is only potential power. Knowledge becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed toward a definite goal. Before you can be sure of your ability to transform desire into monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge of the service or merchandise which you intend to offer in return for fortune. Dependable sources of knowledge include colleges and universities, public libraries, night schools, home study courses, and cassette tapes and programs. As you acquire knowledge, organize it and put it to use through practical plans for a definite purpose. Knowledge has no value except that which can be gained from its application toward some worthy end. Successful people in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business, or profession. The fifth principle to help you think and grow rich is imagination, the one quality needed to combine specialized knowledge with ideas in the form of organized plans designed to yield riches. There are two kinds or forms of imagination. First, synthetic imagination. Through this form of imagination, one uses experience, education, and observation to arrange old concepts, ideas, or plans into new combinations. The second form of imagination is creative imagination. Through creative imagination, the finite mind of each human being has direct communication with the higher power, the infinite intelligence. It is from this power that inspirations and hunches are received, and it is this source that provides all new ideas to people. Creative imagination works automatically only when the conscious mind is stimulated by a strong desire. And the more one uses the creative imagination, the more effective and productive it becomes. Great leaders of business, industry, finance, and great artists, such as musicians, poets, and writers, become highly successful because they develop fully their creative imagination. Millions of people go through life hoping for favorable breaks, but God seems to throw himself on the side of people who do not depend on luck or getting a break, but who know exactly what they want and use creative imagination to get it. The story of practically every fortune starts with the day that a creator of an idea and a seller of ideas got together and worked in harmony. Keep in mind as you stretch your creative imagination and as you follow the other principles for success, that the entire story of how one may convert desire into money cannot be told in one simple statement. The story will be completed only when you have mastered, assimilated, and begun to use all of the principles and carry them out in the ways best suited to your needs. Using your imagination takes determination, definiteness of purpose, and the desire to attain the goal, as well as persistence, a burning desire, and obsession. Ideas are like that. First, you give life and action and guidance to ideas. But if they are true and good, then they take on a power of their own and sweep aside all opposition. One of the greatest examples is the power of Christianity, that began as a simple idea. Its chief tenet was, "Do unto others as you would have others do unto you." Christ has gone back to the source from whence he came, but his idea, or truth, goes marching on. The sixth principle is organized planning. Definite, practical plans are essential for turning your specialized knowledge into riches. First of all, ally yourself with a group of people who can help you formulate and carry out your plans. This is your mastermind group. You must have the advantage of the minds of others, for no individual has sufficient experience, education, ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. Consider the wisdom in the oft-quoted line, "No man is an island unto himself." Decide what advantages and benefits you can offer the individuals in your group in return for their cooperation, for no one will work indefinitely without some form of compensation. Meet with your group at least twice a week, or more, until you have perfected your plans for the accumulation of the money. When your plans do not work, modify them or build other plans in consultation with your mastermind group. Several major attributes of leadership must be developed so your organized planning will be successful and so you can reach your goals. The first attribute is unwavering courage. You must be brave enough to carry out your plans, sometimes in the face of skepticism and discouragement. Other vital traits of leadership are self-control, a keen sense of justice, and the ability to cooperate with others. You must also be willing and able to assume responsibility. You must be decisive. You must develop the unwavering habit of doing more than you are paid for. And a fundamental requirement to think and grow rich is a pleasing personality. A look at the major faults of leaders who fail will also help you, because it is just as essential to know what not to do as it is to know what to do. A major weakness is unwillingness to render humble service. Real leaders are ready and willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. They do not display false pride and consider some jobs beneath their dignity. They encourage and help or serve people at all levels. Wisdom is reflected in the age-old statement, "The greatest among you shall be the servant of all." Another major fault includes inability to organize details. A true leader, of course, discerns which details need to be organized and which ones can be delegated. The expectation of pay for what they know instead of what they do is another downfall of would-be leaders. The day is long past when leaders can remain leaders on the basis of head knowledge or image. Today's competitive world demands more. It demands results and productivity. Overemphasis on the authority of leadership and title is a similar reason for failure. Selfishness is another quality of those who fail. One example of selfishness is failure to give credit when credit is due, or failure to praise others for their contribution to your success. Other reasons for failure include lack of self-discipline, lack of persistence, procrastination, and intemperance, such as overeating, overindulgence in alcoholic beverages, or sexual improprieties. The wrong selection of a vocation is an albatross around the neck and causes failure, just as the wrong selection of business associates causes business failures. You simply must choose an endeavor you believe in and are willing to work hard to accomplish your goals. Lack of capital is also a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time. Many aspiring business people fail because they do not have sufficient reserves of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reliable reputation. If your goal is working in a certain position, knowing when and how to apply for that position is imperative for success. Use every possible resource for gathering the information you need to help you gain the position you desire. America is one of the greatest lands of opportunity there is, but millions of men and women throughout this nation are still trying to get without giving. This philosophy simply will lead to failure. Organizing your plan and successfully marketing your services or merchandise demand that you recognize the golden rule, and not the rule of gold, in your efforts to think and grow rich. The seventh principle is decision. Most people accumulating fortunes have the habit of reaching decisions promptly and of changing these decisions very slowly, if at all. Having a definite goal makes reaching prompt decisions that much easier. So have your goal clearly outlined in your mind, and when you make up your mind, stay with it. You have a brain and a mind of your own. Use it. Define facts and find information that enables you to reach sound decisions. Keep your ears and your eyes wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decisions. Those who talk too much often do little else. If they talk more than they listen, they not only deprive themselves of many opportunities to accumulate useful knowledge, they also disclose their plans and purposes to people who may discourage them. Remember, genuine wisdom is usually conspicuous through modesty and silence. Those who reach decisions promptly and definitely know what they want and generally get it. The leaders in every walk of life decide quickly and firmly. That's the major reason they are leaders. The world has a habit of making room for the people whose words and actions show that they know where they are going. Keep your own counsel when you begin to put into practice the laws of success for growing rich. Take no one into your confidence except the members of your mastermind group. Be very sure in your selection of this group, choosing only those who will be in complete sympathy and harmony with your purpose. After listening to this tape and understanding the principles necessary to accomplish any goal you decide you want to reach, then you must decide to put your plan into action if you want to change your desire into the reality of riches. The eighth principle for acquiring riches is persistence. The building of a fortune involves the application of all the principles of the philosophy of Think and Grow Rich. These principles must be understood, and they must be applied with persistence by all who accumulate money. There may be no heroic connotation to the word persistence, but the quality is to the character of successful people what carbon is to steel. Persistence is a state of mind. Therefore, it can be cultivated. It is the courage to keep on keeping on. 4 simple steps will lead you to the habit of persistence. The first is a definite purpose, backed by burning desire for its fulfillment. Second, a definite plan, expressed in continuous action. Third, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. And fourth, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage you to follow through with both plan and purpose. These 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. These steps control your economic destiny. They lead to freedom and independence of thought. They guarantee favorable breaks. They convert dreams into reality. They lead to the mastery of fear, discouragement, and indifference. They lead to riches. Catch the full significance of these statements, and you will understand the importance of persistence in the accumulation of a fortune. Without persistence, you will be defeated, even before you start. With persistence, you will win. With persistence comes success. Power is the ninth principle to think and grow rich. Not only is power required for the accumulation of money, but power is necessary for the retention of money after it has been accumulated. Power may be defined as organized and intelligently directed knowledge. Plans are useless without sufficient power to translate them into action. Organized effort or power is produced when two or more people get together to work in a spirit of harmony toward a definite end. Power is created when you and your mastermind group, as these helpful people are called, convert your knowledge and experience into definite plans and express those plans in action. This principle has been demonstrated over and over again in the lives of successful business people who have surrounded themselves with other people who have capabilities and intelligence. Andrew Carnegie stated that he personally knew nothing about the technical end of the steel business. Moreover, he did not particularly care to know anything about it. The specialized knowledge he required for the manufacture and marketing of steel he found available through the individuals in his mastermind group. Henry Ford began his business career handicapped by poverty, illiteracy, and ignorance. But within the inconceivably short period of 10 years, Mr. Ford overcame these three handicaps. And within 25 years, he had made himself one of the richest men in America. Like Carnegie and Ford and others who accumulate great wealth, you can create power by organizing and directing a mastermind group of people who possess knowledge useful in your accumulation of money. The 10th step toward riches has to do with the proper channeling of all your psychic and emotional energy, your innate drive to succeed, or to put it another way, your desire for self-manifestation. Whatever you choose to call this compelling force, you need to develop outlets for it through forms of expression that enrich the body, mind, and spirit. For you to succeed and to draw on your innate energy and enthusiasm, your relationships with other people must be right. That is, they must be respectful and considerate. Or to put it simply, your attitude toward others must be based on love. This love may be manifested or demonstrated within marriage and family, toward your business colleagues, and it may find expression in other ways, such as working for charitable organizations or helping people who are not able to help themselves. In summary, this 10th principle of success emphasizes the riches of right relationships with others. People who genuinely want to think and grow rich recognize the power of love and channel it in positive ways. The 11th step toward riches is the use of the subconscious mind. It is a paramount connecting link. The subconscious mind works day and night. You cannot entirely control your subconscious mind, but you can voluntarily hand over to it any plans, desires, or purpose that you wish transformed into concrete form. The subconscious mind is a powerful connecting link between the finite mind of the human being and the infinite power of the higher power. It is the basis through which prayer may be transmitted to the source capable of answering prayer. The possibilities of creative effort connected with the subconscious mind are unlimited and imponderable. After you have accepted, as a reality, the existence of the subconscious mind and comprehend its all-powerful possibilities, you will understand why you have been repeatedly instructed to hold in your mind, as often as possible, a clear picture of yourself enjoying your accomplished goal. Your subconscious mind works continuously, around the clock, and it is open to all kinds of suggestions and ideas, negative as well as positive. So block negative, debilitating thoughts out of your mind, and fill your mind with positive, confident thoughts about yourself, your goals, and your capability of turning your desires into reality. Prayer, one of the most powerful positive forces ever experienced in the realms of human existence, has a definite role to play in your success. Prayer is the ultimate statement of positive thinking. It is a genuine expression of faith, And as we have already emphasized, faith is essential for you to reach your life's goals. Decide what you want from life. Determine what is best for you and those about you. Then tap your subconscious mind and the unbounded resources that are yours through its compelling force. The 12th principle of Think and Grow Rich deals with the brain. Fortunately, everyone has one, and it is far more miraculous, intricate, and capable than any of today's most sophisticated computers. Your brain is a powerhouse. The only sad thing about the brain is that we underutilize it. Psychologists tell us that the average person uses only about 10% of potential brain power. Decide today to begin using your God-given brain. Stretch it, challenge it, work it, give it the goals you wish to accomplish, and watch your dreams come true. The 13th and final law of Think and Grow Rich is called the sixth sense. This principle can be assimilated, understood, and applied only by first mastering the other 12 principles. It cannot be described adequately to a person who has not mastered the other principles of the Think and Grow Rich philosophy, because such a person has no knowledge and no experience with which the sixth sense may be compared. But this sixth sense can be likened to Abraham Maslow's theory of self-actualization. Recognized as a renowned psychologist, Maslow identified several levels of human needs, with the most basic ones being fulfilled before the next levels can be fulfilled. The highest need is for the fulfillment of one's unique potential, which Maslow called self-actualization. The sixth sense is similar to self-actualization, for it recognizes the deep yearning within people to become all that they can be by using all their inner resources and abilities. The sixth sense recognizes the drive in the human spirit toward unity of personality, toward spontaneous expressiveness, toward full individuality and identity, toward becoming more fully functioning with a keen sense of purpose and aliveness. Napoleon Hill's sixth sense also captures the notion of synergism. That is, the added impact on your success that comes from the interaction of the 12 principles of success. Working together, they create an energetic momentum that results in maximum performance. The sixth sense is simply that intangible but dynamic, immeasurable power that comes from applying the 12 laws of success to think and grow rich. Ability to use this great power comes slowly through the application of the other principles. The sixth sense is the apex, the culmination of the laws of success. Diligent self-examination, serious thought or meditation, and conscientious application of all the other principles of success bring this 13th principle into focus until it is closely aligned to spiritual forces. People who follow the instructions in this tape arrive at a mountaintop understanding of themselves, of others, of how they fit into the master plan for life at its fullest. To chart your course to this kind of success, listen to this tape again and again, and practice the principles relentlessly. Cut yourself away from the average and the mediocre. Overcome self-doubt and self-sabotage. Remove the mental blocks that hold you back from succeeding and becoming all that you can be. Listen to these Think and Grow Rich principles and practice them. They hold the key that unlocks the door to life's bountiful wealth. You will be blessed.